Welcome to Inside Design with Kandrak and Cole. This podcast is a conversation between two business partners, Joanne Kandrak and Kelly Cole. Join us for a lively conversation about all things interior design, from current projects, trade show experiences, worldwide travel, what's in, what's out, and all the challenges and wins they've had running their successful design business. Whether you're a seasoned interior designer, new to the industry, or a creative enthusiast, you will walk away with insightful information, newfound inspiration, and a smile on your face after listening to these two. And here they are, Joanne and Kelly.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is Inside Design with Kandrak and Cole, and today we are announcing a new collaboration with Thompson Traders and Pappy and Company. So it's funny how stars align, and the universe brings people together and forces unlikely paths to cross. It really is a phenomenon. And so these types of things happen, and it really has brought this episode to you today. So we're going to give you some backstory on how the universe brought us together with these two families. So part one of backstory. So we had a chance meeting. We were at the Southern Coterie back in 2013. Unbelievable. We were in Athens, Georgia, and the Southern Sea is it's a gathering of women in business, and one that we participated in for years and loved it. And when we were there at the one in Athens, we met these three amazing women, Chenault, Louise, and Carrie, who happened to be identical triplets. Yes, imagine. So they are the great granddaughters of the renowned bourbon maker, Pappy Van Winkle. And so we got to chatting with them and we had a great time. And thanks to these sisters, they have grown the legacy bourbon heritage into a lifestyle brand that we're going to talk about today. They couldn't join us, but we're going to include them in our conversation.
Yeah. Okay, so that's part one of the story. So part two is how we came to adore and befriend the Thompson family of Thompson Traders. They're makers of bespoke hand-hammered metal sinks, bathtubs, range hoods, and accessories, all handcrafted by artisans. So many years ago, we were a part of the Design Hounds group with Veronica Miller-Modanis, and we were invited to a private magical dinner at the Thompson home in Greensboro, North Carolina. Yep. We've been cheerleading each other ever since that time.
Yes.
So then the universe worked its magic for part three of the backstory.
Yes.
These two family-owned, women-helmed companies, Thompson Traders and Pappy and Company, have come together to share their love of legacy, family, and artistry in a new collaboration called Everyday Heirlooms. So we're going to talk to Alejandra and Clifford, brother and sister, from the Thompson family about this new venture.
Oh, I'm so excited. But before we jump in and start chatting with them, we have to tell you that today's episode is sponsored by Norwalk Furniture. So you guys know we source a lot of Norwalk furniture in our projects for a number of reasons. One being that Norwalk builds heirloom quality furniture rather than landfill quality furniture, which is very appropriate for our talks today. And you know what that's also called? If you never heard of it, it's called sustainable. So doing their part to create healthy homes and environments is a core principle at Norwalk, and we want to be a part of that. So partnering with them is super important to us. Another reason that we love them so much is that unlike many other manufacturers, Norwalk has a particularly fabulous array of patterns and bright, fun fabrics that partner with performance fabrics, leathers, and textures like boucle and velvet. So if you visit Norwalk at the upcoming High Point Furniture Market, which you certainly should, you will undoubtedly run into the ever-vibrant president of the company, Caroline Hipple, who is bound to be clad in some fabulous pattern textile herself because that is her style.
And some amazing jewelry.
Yes, always. So check them out. If you're in the trade, you really should consider carrying this line. Their website is norwalkfurniture.com. They have a really cool 360 design tool on their website so that you can see and visualize the pieces once you put fabric on them. So check them out. They are shipping in under 8 weeks now. So thank you, Norwalk Furniture.
Okay, so
we're diving in.
Alejandra and Clifford.
Welcome.
So before we jump in.
Thank you so much for having us. We love you. Our mom says hello, by the way.
Hi.
So before we jump into the Everyday Heirloom collection, why don't you tell us a little bit about what the role each of you play in the company?
Clifford's my boss. I call him Big Boss and Boss Brother sometimes. So he brought me into the company. I'm the last one to join. So I joined the company in 2021, and I am running the Thompson brand, which is the brand that you know as our designers, that we make beautiful things, mostly in Mexico, handcrafted out of copper and brass. But then we have another brand called Syncology that's in Home Depot and Lowe's, and it's mostly like fire clay kitchen sinks. So I'm running the little luxury, bespoke, handmade works of art brand, and it's so much fun. I love it.
Yeah, and I'm president of Thompson Traders. Essentially, I just do everything that my dad doesn't want to do anymore. So that's kind of where we've landed today. Alex says I'm her boss, but really, I'm just here to kind of facilitate and help everyone do the stuff that they're really good at doing. We have a fantastic team. We're really, really lucky. Every single member of my family is part of the company. All very talented. All my siblings are talented, very talented parents. And then we have team members who've been with us for a long time that are really, really great. So it really just, it's easy. We have a lot of fun doing what we do. We're very, very, very lucky in that regard.
Yeah, I feel so lucky to be in the family business.
Well, being around your family, it's very evident the closeness that you all share. And I think that's part of, your mom's culture. And it's just so nice to see you all get along and help each other. It's very genuine.
And how you love so fully to other people. We came to that dinner 10 years ago, and we've always, kept in touch. And we just went to, actually it wasn't 10 years ago. I was thinking about meeting the girls, but it was a solid 5 or 6 years ago. And then we just came again, but we just, the big hugs and the love, it's real. So tell us how, when I think about it and why we've been so excited about this, you guys joining with the Pappy brand and the Pappy family is such a perfect collaboration of families. It's unbelievable. So how did you even meet? Because I don't know. It's perfect, but you guys are in North Carolina and based out of Mexico. They're in Kentucky. How did you guys come to be together?
So that's a great question. So I'm hugely obsessed with bourbon. My whole family will tell you, and it's kind of bad. Even my kids, when we're driving on road trips, they'll see a liquor store and say, "Hey, Dad, are you going to stop and see what kind of bourbon they have?" So big obsession with bourbon. Okay. My 12-year-old once was like, "Dad, did they have any Blantons?" So like they even know brands and whatnot. It's
starting
really
young.
But, right. Good education, right?
Yeah.
But just it's something that's really interesting for me. I love bourbon. I study about it. I read about it.
He'll stand in line for long hours to buy the rare bottles.
I will.
Oh, gosh.
I enter all the lotteries. I buy lottery tickets. I've never won any of them, but I still do it. So I'm giving to a good cause, right? But again, something I love. It's a hobby of mine. And a guy that works for us named Adam Zakaria, he's been a friend for a long time. We were in grade school together. He gave me this book called Pappy Land, written by Wright Thompson. A really interesting book and a lot of history on the Pappy Van Winkle family. Yep. In the book, they talk about Julian quite a bit, of course. And Julian's a brilliant guy who just really has done some incredible stuff. But he also has, brilliant children who have created this really cool company called Pappy & Co. Also in the book, I found out that Chenault, one of the triplets, was a designer. Initially, I thought it'd be cool to reach out to Chenault and just introduce her to the company and see if she would use our products in some of her projects. But ultimately, what happened is we were riding to work one day, and this was during the pandemic, and we were living at our parents' house. My house was being remodeled. Alex was quarantining here from Manhattan, and we were riding to work, and I said, Alex, wouldn't it be cool if we talked to the Van Winkles and we made a sink together, and it would have the Pappy Van Winkle logo on it, and it'd be a cool bar sink that all the bourbon enthusiasts in the world would want to have in their wet bar. And so she was like, oh, that'd be so awesome. So I spent the next couple of days trying to find an email address for someone, and I tried connecting with them on LinkedIn, never got anywhere there. I tried a couple of different ways, and finally I found Carrie, another one of the triplets. I found Carrie's email address, and I spent about 2 days composing an email. And this is like writing to like your hero kind of group, right? Like these are like cute people that you're just like, oh my gosh, and so I put a lot of time into this, and I thought there was a lot of similarities between the families. They were trying to carry on this legacy from their great grandfather. Our mom is from Central Mexico, youngest of 14. All of our family lives there. We grew up in this area that just had great, beautiful artisanship and artisan made crafts, and we wanted to kind of share that with the world as well. So there was some similarities there, and they had 4 siblings. We're 4 siblings. We're all in the family business. So I felt like there would be a connection there. But anyway, spent a lot of time, dedicated a ton of time to putting this email together.
Everyone in the family had to read the email draft and give feedback and edit it. We all saw the email many times before it was sent.
That is so cute. What an effort. Yeah. And so it worked out. Did she respond pretty quick?
It was pretty quick, but it was like maybe it was less than 2 days. But when I sent it a day later, they were like, "Oh, did they respond?" I was like, "No, they're not going to respond. Come on, Pappy Van Winkle."
They're like, they get pitches like this 10 times a day. Like, of course, they're not going to respond to it.
And they did respond. And on that day, I was like, a little kid in the candy shop, like running around, just so excited that they had responded. They had heard about it. Chenault had used our products before. She was actually working on a project right now, and they sent us the drawing that they had done for using our sink in a vanity. So it was just mind blowing for me. Yeah.
That is so
we
awesome.
were celebrating that day.
So fast forward, and you guys, because this is all new, and we're having you on the show because you're just announcing this, it's just coming out. So you guys end up producing 8 heirloom Brilli products that you came together and created, right?
Mm-hmm. So I know Russ has some in the feed. So tell us about some of the products. Like, let's start with maybe the
punch bowl.
Okay.
It was the first creation.
It was the punch bowl was the inspiration. Yeah. So here's an angle of it. And this one's patinaed a bit. When you first get it, it'll be shiny and brand new. But something that we really wanted to do in general with the line was we loved, obviously, the copper and brass. Those amber tones, correlate so well with bourbon. And something we wanted to do with the line was, the punch bowl was inspired by their great-grandfather's punch bowl. And there's so much history behind it. And his was a sterling silver punch bowl. And they wanted to move away, all of us did, from that stuffy feeling and from being something that you reserve for special occasions. And so quite purposefully, I wanted to show it to you today with the patina and aging, because we're trying to encourage people, like, yes, when you get it, it's shiny and brand new, and you can keep polishing it and keeping it that way. But we really want people to embrace the way it ages naturally, because we think it's so beautiful. So you'll see that we have photography both with the shiny brand new and with the aged one. But the punch bowl was the inspiration behind the whole collection. That's what kind of kicked us off. And, of course we started talking about a sink at the beginning, and they started talking about the punch bowl, and we're like, wait, we actually just need to make this punch bowl. Mm-hmm. And then the barware kind of spun out of that. So it's called the Pappy punch bowl. Obviously it comes with a tray, and they're very similar to the punch bowl and the tray that the Van Winkle great-grandparents and grandparents used all the time, and that they still use in their family for family celebrations. The tray's gorgeous. It's 22 inches. It's a massive, beautiful copper tray. And then in some of those pictures, you can see cups. There's the Van Winkle cup. And the original family heirloom one has a handle, and we wanted to modernize it a little bit. So our version of the cup does not have the handle. And you can fit 12 of those perfectly on the tray around the punch bowl. And then there is the ice bucket. It works really well.
I like the combo. Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Oh, that's so pretty.
So that's
I love that. I love the handle.
Thank you. Look, it's got the copper handle.
Oh, I love the combo.
You can open it, and the interior bucket comes out, and is so nice. You have copper brass, and you can use this as a flower vase to hold wine, or you can use them together to keep things insulated. So we wanted everything to be multifunctional and to work in lots of ways. What else do we have? We have the
spoon.
The spoon is coming. That's my favorite. I have to keep it for last. This is an early prototype of the shaker. And you can see when you were in the product development phase, we were debating how to mix the finishes. So this was an early prototype, and you can see there's a copper plaque and a brass plaque. And ultimately, we landed on the brass.
What are on those plaques?
It's the collaboration logos. I don't know if you can see that. So
it's both of the logos for Thompson.
Yeah, nice. And then the TT for Thompson. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And then underneath it says Pappy and Co. Thompson Traders. Oh, thank you. There's the jigger. I can see you're seeing a picture of the jigger. The jigger is amazing. It measures for you a half ounce, a quarter ounce.
Yeah, each line it measures as well. So it's beautiful, but it's really functional because you can see when you're pouring it, if it hits that line, you hit the right measurement.
Yeah, it's so easy and functional to make cocktails. And then my favorite item is the Katie Van sipping spoon. And so this has the Pappy & Co. logo. These are gorgeous. First of all, it does three things. So it's a spoon, obviously. It's a stir because it's very, very long. It's 8 inches. And then it's also a straw. I don't know if you can see that, but.
Oh my God.
So this is by far my favorite thing. I use it with my coffee in the morning. Obviously, I'll use it with cocktails. And what I love about it is when you see it in person, it's really thick and heavy. And the Pappy & Co. logo is the 3 keys. And Clifford knows a little bit the story of the 3 keys.
Yeah, the keys, there's actually 5 keys that Pappy used, but there was five things that made bourbon distilling successful. And I don't remember all 5 of them off the top of my head, but I think this is kind of an inspiration from that.
Yeah, the girls, since there's 3 of them, they wanted to take 3 of his keys to make their combined logo. And so that's on the sipping spoon. And this one will come in little packs of 4.
I love that.
What great gifts. Now, where
can a sipping spoon?
Where can people buy these once it comes out?
Yeah.
So it's launching exclusively on the Pappy Co. website. So pappyco.com. They're direct-to-consumer. We, Thompson, are not usually direct-to-consumer. We go through plumbing showrooms, and so we're launching exclusively with them. And I think for the first year, that'll be the only point of distribution.
Okay.
We better place our order.
They're going to sell out. I'm telling you. This is an amazing,
we hope
it's
so.
cool-looking stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are recording this. We're recording this a little bit ahead of time because today is the 29th of August. But you guys, by the time this releases, you guys when's your big day? September 12th?
12th.
Yeah.
12th. Okay. So by the time this hits the airwaves, it'll be everybody can go and order.
And buy.
Yeah. Could we get our order in a little early? Just saying. Could you take our order today?
My goodness. We really wish. So just to set expectations, it's actually a pre-order. So nothing will ship on the 12th. We've received all the inventory, but it's going to come packaged in beautiful boxes and beautiful tissue paper. And so I don't think anything will actually start shipping until October. Just to set expectations. And we don't want to sell out. That's okay. Yeah. You'll definitely get it in time for the holidays. We don't want to sell out, our hope is that this is in stock and people can get it whenever they want. But we also just don't know what the demand's going to be. So we'll see when it launches. If we're sold out, I'm so sorry, and we'll make more as quickly as we can.
So do you see this collection growing a little bit?
We think so, yeah. I really do. At some point, I want to go back and launch the bar sink. I'd like to do something like that. Yeah, I have so many friends, that just love their bar, and they spend so much time on their bar and how they display their bottles and the shelving and everything. And I think it'd be a huge success, and I think it'd be a really cool way to incorporate the whole Ben Winkle name into the bar more.
Well, bourbon has become a pretty big deal. Bourbon, people are really into it.
My husband just started drinking bourbon probably like 4 years ago because all of his lake buddies are all into bourbon. So it's our bar. I had to go to Scott's Antique Market and buy a big, pretty, solid wood bar that would properly display the bourbon bottles because they're all so pretty. Well, he doesn't have a bottle of Blanton's yet, so you might have to share. But anyway, but yeah, so these are like best gifts. I mean, I can't wait.
I have to confess this. When we met the girls, I didn't realize. I thought bourbon was one thing and whiskey was another. I didn't realize that bourbon was whiskey,
and that men only drank it.
And then once I started, we actually wrote a blog on it. So I did a lot of research. So now, if there's anybody or if we're at a bar, I'm always name dropping that Pappy, and they're like, "Oh, really?" Like I didn't even know what it was.
And that women drink it a lot. They were like, "We're like, wait, you girls drink bourbon on a regular basis?" They were like, duh. And we're like, we didn't know. We drink wine and beer and vodka. I mean, so it's
bourbon's it's just as popular with women as with men, and it's actually like a little bit of a smoother, easier drink than whiskey. So very popular. It's great for everyone over the age of 21.
And I will say, from a design perspective, when we do photo shoots, we have had, we've had to focus on the bar quite a bit. And so I will say that I don't think, I think you're hitting a very appropriate niche market because I don't think there's a lot of, there a huge inventory out there of beautiful barware.
Not in those beautiful finishes.
No. Mm-mm. So
okay, we got to get some styling. We got to get some styling. Yeah. Well, I even saw.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say I saw in the one photograph. She was using the punch bowl as for a photo. For flowers.
For flowers, yeah.
So they can be used in different ways too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the punch bowl and the tray are beautiful, like decorative pieces. If you just wanted, the tray's so big, if you just wanted to put it on your coffee table with books or with anything. Also, it makes a beautiful charcuterie board, like beyond anything you've ever used before. And we put champagne bottles or wine bottles and Cokes, flower arrangements. I mean, the punch bowl works for a lot of things. It's beautiful.
That is so exciting. So it's called Everyday Heirlooms. And people need to go to Pappy. Is it pappyandco.com? Is it the ampersand? Just Pappy Co.
And not on the website. Yeah.
Pappy Co.
Okay. Got it. That is so awesome.
And we'll be sending an email, obviously, on the 12th. And Pappy and Co. will be sending an email on the 12th with a link to the collection landing page. So if you want to make sure that you don't miss it, you can go and register for their email or our email, and we'll let you know the moment it's available to buy.
Okay. We do not want to miss it.
Perfect.
Yes. Well, hold on for us a minute because we're going to do our quotes that we end every show with. All right. I'm going to do the funny one because I love it. Ready? We memorized phone numbers. We memorized driving directions. No one knew what we looked like. No one could reach us. We were gods. And that's from Stash Birmingham. I'm telling you, you have to be a certain age. Alejandra, you might be, a little too young to think that's funny.
No, I remember.
But I just think, we were gods.
Yep.
Nobody knew what we were doing or where we were, what we looked like.
Yeah, that's right.
Our parents didn't even know where we were.
They didn't.
We were thrown out and came back at dark. Okay. So the series quote is, go somewhere you've never been. Listen to someone you think may have nothing in common with you. Be open to a world you may not understand or agree with the person next to you, but have a drink with them anyways. Check in on your friends. Check in on yourself. Enjoy the ride. And that's Anthony Bourdain.
I love that.
Yep.
I love that.
That's great.
6, sit next to somebody you might not have anything in common with and have a drink with them. Very appropriate for today.
And one more announcement before we go. We want to urge everybody to go to the High Point Market registration because
it's time.
It's
people.
open. It's time. Go ahead and get your travel arrangements made. And then an upcoming podcast, we spoke with Tammy Nagum, who is the president and CEO of High Point Market. So that's a really good one. We interviewed her and got a lot of inside scoop on High Point Market.
Yeah, highpointmarket.org. And sign up for our Insiders Tour. We still have a few spots left, but this is for the October market. So, and we'll see you guys there, won't we? Will you be there?
Yes.
Yeah. We
don't show at market, but we're always there. So you'll see us walking the streets in different talks, and we'll be looking for you for sure. We need a big hug when we see you again.
Yes.
We'll make sure we run into each other.
All right. Well, thank you, Norwalk Furniture. Thank you guys, and best of luck with this launch. We're so excited to be a part of the first celebration and announcement of it all. So we know it's going to be fantastic, and we want to say a big shout out to the Van Winkle sisters, and we really hope you guys just are very successful with this.
Yes. Thank you so much, and
a
kiss to your mom.
Kiss to your mom.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Join Joanne and Kelly for a new episode every other Friday as they continue to explore the nuances of the interior design business with the goal of informing, inspiring, and entertaining their listeners. See their work at Kandrak-Cole.com and engage with them on Facebook and Instagram at Kandrak Cole.